Welcome, friends. It's Sunday morning, so we're going to do another one of our post-Depression, pre-World War II recipes from My Favorite Recipe. And on this page, there are two recipes that are essentially the same, different names. One is called Butterscotch Crisp, and the other is called Oatmeal Crisp. But they follow kind of similar methods and the same ingredients. First in is some butter, and we just want to heat this butter until it's melted. Okay, next in is some brown sugar, and we just want to stir this in to dissolve it into the butter and maybe just start a little bit of the caramelization process as the brown sugar melts. So I've got the temperature on medium low, not too hot. You don't want to burn anything. You just kind of want to melt it together. And I think we're at the point where we add in the rolled oats, and these are not quick oats, they're just rolled oats, so not the quick ones. Now, while we're stirring this in, I'm going to throw in some salt and some vanilla extract. Just keep stirring until everything's coated. Okay, now that everything is coated, we just want to pat it down into a nice, even round, even thickness. And then it says pop it into a hot oven, which I'm taking to mean about 450 degrees Fahrenheit. And so we're going to stick this in and let it bake. Now the instructions say to cut it while it's still hot out of the oven, but I think bubbling hot might be too hot. I'm going to wait for it to cool a little bit first. Okay, so this is Oatmeal Crisp or Butterscotch Crisp. Two recipes on the same page, mostly the same, slight difference in the way they're baked, at a higher temperature or at a lower temperature. And very little instruction over how to remove it from the pan, which apparently is a problem. So if you leave it in the pan too long, you're never going to get it out. It's stuck.
Well, you can. It'll just end up being crumble.
It's crumble. It becomes something great to throw in granola.
Yes.
You know, the flavor is amazing, but you're not going to get it out in pieces. But if you are very careful and you take it out before it solidifies, so it's still, the sugar's still melted and it's still...
So to be completely honest, we watched this for about an hour and about every 5 minutes checked on it to see whether it was cool enough and whether it was the right temperature. So it cools for about an hour.
Yeah, so you poke at it and you poke at it and you find... And so we ended up with something that is, you know...
I will say the defining line was that when we cut it, it didn't meld back.
It didn't melt back in. Yeah, so we cut it with a knife and
That's how we knew.
the cut stayed open.
Yeah.
But the flavor is amazing. I really like it. I
You
think
can tell this is the first one we took out though, right?
yeah, the first piece is always it's caramely, it's oaty. Kind of reminds me of those little cookies that you get at Soho with your tea. What do they call them?
Hobnobs.
Hobnobs.
Except they're a little more oatmeal-y.
Yeah. Now there's two differences.
Yes.
Baking temperature. This one has soda in it, and this one does not.
Okay.
So when you put the soda in, you mix the soda in at the same time as you put in the vanilla.
Yeah, it would cause a frothing.
It foams up in the oven, yeah. And so it has a slightly different flavor. I think the flavor on this one is much cleaner. Much more caramely or butterscotchy. Mm-hmm. Whereas this one, you kind of notice that there's something else in there.
But the texture's a little bit different
Yeah.
too. I wonder if that's just the soda or the temperature difference.
I think it's a combination of both. So here's what I would do. I wouldn't do it in a round pan again. I did it in a round pan because you needed to heat it on. I did it in a round cast iron because I needed to heat it on this stovetop, which is induction, and none of our baking pans would work. I would do it in a square baking pan. I would cut them into very small squares and put this on like a holiday sideboard with a treat tray.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I like this one better.
Yeah. But you know, these are the things that you try. And not every recipe is going to work out the first time you make it because ingredients might be a little bit different, your equipment's a little bit different, you need to learn from it, you need to try, and you know, even though this is, I would say, #fail, because it's crumbly, it tastes amazing. I'll still eat it.
Well, and there's it, right? I mean, if you gave me either, I would be happy.
Yeah.
When I'm standing side by side, I prefer the flavor of that one. But, you know, I'm no expert. I'm only an expert for me.
I'd eat them both. Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon.
Enjoy your day.